It's Anthony Bandiero here, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you the Roadside Chat. This question comes from an officer in Ohio. He says, look, if you pull over a vehicle and the driver is showing a warrant, can you search or pat down the person for weapons prior to the warrant being confirmed? Okay, let's talk about each one in turn. First of all, pat downs, right? Can you pat a person down? Of course you can if you have reasons to believe that the person is armed or dangerous, right? Armed and dangerous, armed or dangerous. A person that's armed is typically considered dangerous, even though you want to have articulation about why you think that weapon could be used against you. It's pretty easy, right? These cases are fairly easy, but you don't want to go to court and say an armed person is always dangerous. There are people out there that are lawfully armed and they are in no way a danger to you. They're not showing any indicators of danger. Okay. Now, let's talk about the people that are dangerous. Is being a fugitive from justice an indicator of danger? It is, but what's the warrant for it? Is it a warrant for, a bounce check, for failing to pay your child support? Is it a warrant for drugs, possession of a stolen car, some kind of battery on another person, domestic violence? What's the warrant, right? And also, not only is being a fugitive an indicator of danger, right? Because those people, almost by definition, especially if it's a significant crime, they are trying to get away from police, right? They're a fugitive, right? That's the definition of a fugitive. They do not want to be apprehended. So those people, you have reason to believe that they'll do more dangerous things to keep free, right? But also look at anything else there, right? The person's demeanor. Furtive movements. Were they trying to hide something? What's their criminal history? Was the stop that occur in a high crime area? What are some of the here and now type things that indicate they're a danger? I would think that a person who is wanted, plus a few other facts, it'd be pretty easy to justify a pat down while you are waiting for confirmation. The next thing is, okay, what about searching them, right? Well, if you search them, you either need their consent or you need a recognized exception. The recognized exception here would be search incident to arrest. Now, I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that generally speaking, a hit for a warrant is probable cause to arrest, even before the confirmation, because probable cause is a fair probability that a crime has occurred. Is there at least a fair probability that warrant is going to come back confirmed? Absolutely, to say the least. I mean, the vast majority of warrants are confirmed. Now, sometimes they are confirmed, but the originating agency does not want to extradite, right? But there was still PC for the warrant. And that's the bad news. I traditionally don't teach cops to search, do a search incident to arrest of a person while waiting for confirmation. I think that, generally speaking, I would just use the pat down rules and just wait for that confirmation, because especially depending on what the warrant is for and depending on where you're at, and you're like, okay, a lot of our warrants don't get transported, or if it's a different county, they don't want these guys for, misdemeanors and so forth. I would just wait for the warrant to get confirmed, because unless it's like a felony and so forth, where you pretty much know the person is going to be ultimately arrested, that might change the facts for me. But just use pat down rules. But push comes to shove, if you have a warrant hit and you have no reason to believe that they would not be transported, that is probable cause to make the arrest, believe it or not. And the search would just fall under traditional search incident to arrest. Now, before you go, for example, like during COVID, a lot of people were not going to jail for misdemeanor warrants. Change the facts, change the answer. In those circumstances, I know cops did it, but I told them not to do it, to not just routinely search people based on that warrant when especially when they tell you they're not going to transport, right? The originating agency is not going to allow the booking because of whatever reason. They're overbooked, the COVID restrictions at the time and so forth. Why would you search them instant to arrest when you know there's not going to be an arrest? So that's my advice to you. At the end of the day, I would just use pat down rules until it gets confirmed. Okay? All right. Hope this helps. Keep the questions coming. If you have liked this video, like what I do over here, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Until next time, my friends, you guys stay safe.